back. You ready for some more baseball? We're currently in the middle of the second. Let's just tie up the White Sox last inning because we forgot to put the numbers down here. One thing also, Gillespie struck out in the top of the second, and I didn't show you that getting marked up on his on his score sheet. You put a K for a strike kicker, the first strikeout. All right. So that was the first out. All right, we got 1 run. So Chicago have taken the lead. And we got 2 hits, 1, 2. No errors. Left on base was 1 guy. Incidentally, that pass ball pushed Flowers round from first to second. Remember, we were looking at a situation where we had a pass ball and a foul out. One interesting comment to make: if he was on third when the pass ball happened, so it was pass ball and foul out, he would have run in and scored despite the foul out, because those pass ball and foul outs, they're happening on different balls, okay, different pitches, so both would have happened, and you do it in the order that the advanced fielding sheet was given us. So it was catcher's card, pass ball and foul out. So the first pitch came through, was a pass ball which allowed the runner on third to score, and then the foul out took the man out. We were on 2 outs, you see. As it was, he was only on first, so he only advanced to second, and then we got the foul out. Alright, but just a neat little nuance: if you're looking at pass ball and foul out as a result, with a runner on third and 2 outs, he does come home and score. Okay, let's go back to top of the second. Kansas City are coming in. Shields goes back to the dugout. Quintana comes in for the White Sox. And Billy Butler is up. Quintana throws left. Billy Butler hits right. So every time we're on the hitters card with Quintana pitching, we're in the blue section. Okay? What I'd like to show you, if we can, is a few more tactics. We just played some slugging for the White Sox, but we might try what we call a little bit of small ball, alright? Trying to push runners over, advance runners over with some stealing, maybe some hit and runs, and some defensive tactics too from White Sox, trying to cut off runners and that kind of stuff. But let's see how the dice favour us. Let's see the first pitch. It's a 4. Not a good start for Billy. It's off the pitcher's card. Might be able to draw a single or a walk. 8 or 9. It's a 6. That means Billy struck out. So it's a K in the box. First out. Oh, incidentally, I could have also marked the fact when Chicago were batting, Flowers brought in Ramirez, so he gets a ribby, an RBI, a run batted in. Alright. Alex Gordon's up next. It's lefty v lefty now. Let's throw the pitch. It's a 5. This could be good for Alex. We got possible home run here. Notice that the power rating for Alex Gordon against left-handed pitcher is N for normal. If it was W, then those home runs, if he's weak against this pitcher, any home run shouts on this card would become, or even on this one, would become singles. Let's see, can we throw 8, 9, 11, 4. It's catch X. That's not too bad. The White Sox catcher's not that hot. Flowers is a 3. Yeah, this is 3, E2, pass ball 2. Let's look at the catcher's card. And column 3. Could be a wild pitch or a pass ball. Let's roll the dice to find out. It's a 3. That's a bad defensive roll, but not all that bad. It's a foul out. Unlucky for Alex, so it's a foul out to the catcher. Out number 2. Aoki's in. Not doing great here, are we? Aoki's a lefty as well. So we can't get something going here. We've got 2 outs, which is not helpful for me showing you tactics. It's a 4. So, yeah, still a chance. 9. Okay, here we go. Aoki's a left-hander, so it's a single star with no one on base. That's a single. Okay. Now Aoki is pretty good at running, so let's try and steal and look at some advanced stealing. His stealing is rated B. With Perez coming into bat and we're on the 3rd out, what we're hoping to do is move this guy over to second base. We call this putting him into a scoring position. Singles and doubles are more frequent than anything else, right, in terms of hits. So if Perez can get a double, then Aoki can come in and score. That's the idea. Obviously if he's stuck here on first and we get a double, or even a single star, he's only going to make his way to 3rd. So let's try and steal second. If we can get a single star or double and push him into score. Alright, that's the idea. So Aoki's got a good lead. He's trying to steal second. The normal defensive position is infield back. We can't switch to infield in, okay, because you need to have a runner on 3rd and less than 2 outs. It doesn't make sense to bring your infield in. So keep the infield back is fine. Alright? If this guy sacrifices, he's not going to score anyway. But you could hold the base runner. We could try and hold this guy on. What that means is that he's got more chance of hitting. I think we touched on this in an earlier episode. Because this first baseman, instead of standing in a position where he can field hit balls, he's a bit close. He's right tight in on this base, which means there's more of a gap here for the hitter to hit through. And with Perez at bat, that's our plan. We're going to be trying to steal. With the infield in, your chances of turning a double play are reduced. There's also in super advanced corners in, okay, and then there's also outfielders in for super advanced. And we're going to hold on the base runner just to reduce his chances of stealing. So once more, let's look at Aoki. He's got a stealing rating of B. We'll go back to the basic strategy chart. Okay, the advanced strategy chart doesn't have any separate rules for stealing. It does have for the other plays: sacrifice, squeeze, hit and run. Okay, but for stealing, it's the same chart. For a B, stealing second, rating B is a 1 to 13. Now we've got to do some mods. The first thing is to subtract the catcher's throwing arm. Alright, the catcher's here. This guy's running up to steal second. The catcher's going to take the pitch, throw it up to the second baseman and try and get him out before he touches the base and holds on that base. Alright, so the catcher's arm is significant. Here's Flowers. Here's his fielding rating, C3. In parentheses here, in brackets, it's -1. So we're going to take away 1 from that 1 to 13. It now becomes a 1 to 12. Compare that to Perez here. Salvi's got a -4, so a much better throwing arm. So our stealing chance, rated B, remember, Aoki for stealing, 1 to 13. Catcher's arm reduces that to 1 to 12. Now because he's being held on, there's an additional modification in the advanced game. And it only depends on his steal rating. So if he's AAA, it's -1, AA -2, A -2, a B is a -3. Okay, so we take that 1 to 12 now, down to 1 to 9. There is a bonus though, playing the advanced rules. So the chances have just been reduced a little bit, but if we manage to succeed this steal on a good roll, remember we're going to roll the d20 now, we need to get a 1 to 9. If you take second or third on a roll of 1, 2 or 3, then we get to roll the die again, and then we look at this T rating. Each catcher has a T rating, so for flowers it's here 1 to 10. For Salvi it's 1 to 13. So Tyler Flowers, the White Sox catcher's a little bit better here. If you roll the d20 again, if it falls in that T rating, then the catcher makes an error, and the guy stealing actually steals an extra base. So let's roll. We're looking for 1 to 9. It's a 3. Excellent. Aoki successfully steals seconds. We've got that 1 to 3, so we look at the T rating of Flowers. T 1 to 10. So 1 to 10, then Aoki can steal third on a throwing error from the catcher. It's an 8. He's done it. Aoki moves over to third. Let's mark this up. So Aoki manages to steal second. So we write SB off Perez, number 1. Number 8. And then steals third off an error. So that was a great decision to try and push Aoki over. Now let's see what Perez can do. His chances of scoring or hitting successfully have increased slightly because of the base runners being held in. Alright, let's roll for the pitch. It's a 6. Salvi's a right-hander, so it's coming off here. This could be good for the visitors. Anything other than an 8 here. He's going to test the field and hopefully get that out. There's a 9. He managed to strike him out. Aoki was left on base. You know, this is normal, alright? This is normal. If you can get a hit 1/3 of the time, then you're doing a good job. So no runs scored. We got 1 hit. No errors, 1 left on base, but obviously that error made by the White Sox is now going to transfer over to here. The error was a White Sox error, not a Royals error. Okay, Shields back in. Let's go to the top of the third, and let's see if the White Sox can get some men on base and we can show you some more advanced fielding. We're going back to the top of the order, so there's a chance. Eaton's coming in. He's a lefty against Shields as a righty. Let's throw that first pitch. Make sure we put our infield back once more. It's a 2. So Adam Eaton stands a chance of getting on base. This is what we wanted. A 5 is a good roll. And this is what you need from your lead-off man. You want him to be able to get on base as often as possible. Okay, a 5 could be a triple or a double. And the odds are good on a triple. Let's roll the split die. It's a 10, it's a triple. 1 to 10 was a triple, 11 to 20 was a double. Now what the fielders going to want to do is try and prevent this guy on third from scoring. And this is why we might want to bring the infield in. There's a runner on third, less than 2 outs. Triple is always nice to see. 1, 2, 3 bases. 3 beat. And we've got Marcus Semien coming to the plate. Now there is a temptation to lay down a bunt. The infielder in, which is going to reduce the chances of the bunt paying off, but Marcus Semien is bunting C. He's one of the best bunters in the team, in the White Sox team, but it's not an A or a B. Let's look at our chances of pulling off a squeeze play. So less than 2 outs with a runner on third. We're going to try and lay down a sacrifice bunt and have this guy come in and score. There is one more play available in the advanced game that you didn't have in the basic. Remember, it says that the sacrifice, less than 2 outs, no runner on third, or even a hit and run, no runner on third. You can do a hit and run with a runner on third if you've got a runner on first. The idea here is that the third baseman, the guy on third, doesn't move. Okay, he's going to hold, and the hit and run is only trying to push the guy on first over to second. Right, you can't do this hit and run if the runner on third is forced. Okay, so that is a possibility. Hit and run with a runner on third if there's a guy on first, just to try and move him over. Alright, as we stand, this squeeze play is going to be tricky. With the infield in, what you do is you reduce the bunt rating by 1. So a bunt A would become a B a C. Semi-in here, a bunting C would become a bunting D with the infield in. This time there is an advanced side of the chart. So here's our squeeze play. So semi-in's a C, downgraded to a D with the infield in. And then we roll our 2d6, and the most common is a 7, obviously. Botter pops out, the runners hold. So there's a real risk here from a D, but we don't mind taking a risk to demonstrate gameplay, so let's go for it. 2d6. It's a 3. And the 3 says the batter beats out the bunt and runners advance 1 base. So that's gone badly for the Royals, great for the White Sox. Eaton scores off hitter number 2. Semien gets a single. They're 2-0 up, and we'll mark down that ribby. Abreu's in. The Royals put the infield back. I'm not worried about him stealing. Abreu's going to swing on this one. He's currently 1 for 1. Got a single in the first. It's a 3. And that's a pitch he can do something off. We've got to be careful of number 2. It's hit by pitch plus an injury. Now what that means is potentially Abreu's going off and we need to substitute him in. But if you're hit by the pitch, then you just walk over to first base. And obviously that will advance the first baseman to second. But we don't really want an injury. There's another hit by pitch here. And then we've got a couple of singles. And then there's a walk here. So that's 4 balls thrown. Walk over to first base. So not a bad chance. Let's roll it. It's a 7. That's a strikeout. That's alright, that's not too bad. It's only the first out. Up next is Baserunning. Still a good hitter, he's right-handed. Let's roll. We've got a 1. There's some good chances here. Let's see. It's a 7. It's a single, and there's no stars here. And with a runner on base, that's going to give us some options. It's a single to right field, and that's significant because the fielder's arm is going to make a difference when this lead runner tries to take that extra base. So the single is going to give us 1 base, yeah? So runners take a base, the hitter takes a base. But because there's no stars, this guy doesn't get an automatic advancement of 2. Right? 1 star would mean he would get this extra 1 base. When there's no stars, remember, he has the option then of using his running skill to try and take an extra base, but the right fielder's arm is going to come into play. Okay, so that's the difference from the basic game. So who's over on right field for the Kansas City Royals? It is Aoki. I need to look at his fielding card. And Nori Aoki, although he's a decent fielder, we're not looking at his fielding rating. What we're looking at is his arm, which is the number in parentheses. Okay, so he's a fielding rating 3, but there's 0 adjustment on the throw in from right field. Compare this to, let's take another outfielder, Lorenzo Cain. He has a -2, so the running rating would be reduced by 2. We look at Semyon's running rating. So if it had gone to centre field, -2, with Semyon's running rating of 1 to 14, a -2 modifier would have meant his running rating would have reduced to 1 to 12. As it is with Aoki's 0 modifier, the running rating is still 1 to 14. So 1d20, 1 to 14 would allow us to take that extra base and move over to third. If the base runners were being held, we weren't, we had infield back, then you minus an additional 1 from his running rating. He wouldn't have had that extra lead with the second baseman holding him tightly here, or rather the first baseman holding him tightly here. The other situation I wanted to show you before we roll for this one is, let's say we had runners on first and second. As it goes, we had just a runner on first, right? So the single pushed him over, the batter came into first, and then he had an option to take that extra third base like this. Okay, so if we were batting here and we got that single with no stars, this would happen. If the offensive manager says, I want the guy who was on second to take that extra base and score, then the defensive manager's asked, do you want to cut off the throw to the plate? Remember, when you're taking these extra bases, what's going to happen is if he takes this extra one and scores, that running always applies to the lead base runner. All your other base runners follow along behind. If you cut off the throw to the plate, actually it's going to come across here from right field. What it means is the second baseman's going to intercept that throw and hold this guy on second. We let the guy score. Our defensive manager allows him to score, but holds this guy here. Alright? So it's the choice you make as a defensive manager. Do I want to cut off the throw and hold him here and let this runner score? Or do I go with the die roll, let him take his chances, but if he succeeds, then the minor and second is going to run over to third as well, and also be in a much closer scoring position. Alright, so that's the situation. You can do the same if the bases are loaded. Alright, this guy will come in and score. These will all advance. Then this one could choose to come in an extra base and score, with him following up behind, or cut off the throw and hold him here. Alright, so here we are then. Let's go back to where we were. We need a 1 to 14 to get that extra base. Let's roll it. Oh no, it's a 20. Aoki's made a terrific throw as the runner from first rounds second and tries to slide into third. The third baseman, Alex Gordon, takes the ball thrown and tags up Semyon. He's out. That's the danger. So Viciedo got the single. Semyon tried to round second and move to third, but got out. Now you can mark the detail on here. It was right fielder to third baseman, so that's 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Okay. Next up is Ramirez. Viciedo has a running rating of 1 to 10. Ramirez has a bunting rating of C, but obviously we're on the second. Oh no, we're on the second out now. So let's just roll it. What's his stealing? Viciedo has stealing E. Yeah, he's a bit of a lumberer. Pitch comes in. It's a 6. Batter's a righty, so it's off here. This could be good for the offensive team. We've got a 9. Those 6s are always dangerous. But no, Shields has managed to pull off the strikeout. Ramirez strikes out. We've got a double and a run in the second inning. The White Sox are doing well. That's another run. We got 1, 2, 3 hits. No errors for the Royals. Left on base 1. Let's play out the rest of this inning with the advanced rules. See where it takes us. And then as we head into the 4th, we'll start mixing in some super advanced. So, let's see. Shields off, Quintana in. Coming into bat is Infante. Let's swing. We got a 1. Infante's a righty against a left-handed pitcher. Could be good, and 9 is a home run potentially. It's a 7. You notice we haven't had to face this yet, but Infante is weak against right-handed pitchers. So if they had got a home run, it would have just been a single instead. As it goes, we've got a ground ball to the shortstop, A+. When you're playing infield in, on the basic side, what that would do is turn a ground ball ++. So you see you've got an A++. That would turn that into a single. On the advanced side, it's abbreviated to a single plus. So this will be a ground ball. If the infield were in, then Omar would have been able to score on as a single. As it stands, it's going to be an out. With no one on base, the A doesn't do anything. It's a ground out to the shortstop, number 6. First out. Back to the top of the order with Alcides Escobar. Let's roll him. It's a 1. Throws left. This is going to be another out. It's a 5. Yep, strikeout. Okay, for Quintana. That's the second out. Next up is Lorenzo Cain. Making short work of these guys. Okay, this is a righty. It's a 2. That's better. This might be better. Got some better chances here. Yeah, 4. A 4 would be nice. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Any of those values. Yeah, this could be a good hit. Downside is we're on 2 outs already. It's a 6. And it's a double. Shame there's no one on base. Remember, the hitter can't try and take extra bases. It's a double's a double. So, struck out in the first, a double in the third. We got a man on. With Moose coming in, I think we're just swinging and we'll keep the infield back. Alright, let's roll. Mike's lefty. It's a 3, that's what we want to see. But, no, a 2 is what we wanted. We've still got a chance of getting on base with a walk. And, yeah, let's roll them and see what, yeah. It's not good, is it? It's a 6. Okay. Incidentally, I think on a previous card we saw this Omega symbol. That's super advanced only, and it comes into play when we're in a clutch situation. But we'll talk about that hopefully in the next time. For now, we've got our ground ball out, so it was a ground ball to second baseman. Number 4, that's our third out. And if we wrap things up for the Royals, it's still 2-0 to the White Sox. We got 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. See you next time.